It's time to go inside innovation, brought to you by Allegion, pioneering safety. Well, earlier this month, Casted launched after receiving more than $2.3 million in seed funding from investors including High Alpha Venture Studio and Elevate Ventures. It bills itself as the first and only marketing platform for branded podcasts. With more on the business model and what she sees as growth opportunities, I'm pleased to be joined by Casted co-founder and CEO, Lindsay Tjepkema. And Lindsay, welcome to the program.
Thanks so much. I'm very excited to be here.
And congratulations on the launch of the company, Thanks. Another High Alpha company. That organization continues to do some great things. But to begin to kind of tee things up, podcasting is red hot. It's on fire. Give folks an idea of how popular and how much growth opportunity there is in the podcasting world.
It's true. I mean, there's a reason that it feels like anywhere you go, someone asks what your favorite podcast is or if you have a podcast. And really, an interesting thing happened a little over a year ago in 2018, and that's for the first time ever, more Americans have listened to podcasts than those who have not. So if you're not listening to podcasts, you're in the minority for the first time ever. And while that's becoming really, really, really popular just among the general public, brands are starting to realize where the eyes and ears are. So too, that's where I should go, and that's right now is podcasting.
And you had mentioned that you didn't launch the company because of your love of podcasts. You obviously like them, but you really like the authentic conversation. That's what really drives you.
It's true. So yes, I absolutely love podcasts. My background is in marketing, specifically content marketing, and I'm a huge proponent of podcasts. But even more than that, business to business in particular, really, as we all know, is really human to human, no matter what you're buying or selling. And the more that you can put a conversation at the center of that interaction, the greater that connection between the audience and the brand is going to be. And podcasts do something really special in that they allow a listener to listen in on a conversation. And the more they do that, the more they feel connected with not only the host, but with the brand behind the show.
Okay, talk about the model, what Casted is all about.
Sure. So we really say, okay, go create your show, and then we are going to help you take it from there. Again, we're the first and only marketing platform built around branded podcasts, and we empower marketers to manage, activate, and measure their shows. So really go create your show, upload it into the platform, help you get it out into the world, wring out as much value as possible, pull apart that one piece of audio content so that you can use it across other marketing channels, and then measure its effectiveness on your brand.
How important is that measuring part, the analytics?
It's really important. I mean, right now, anyone who has a podcast knows that you're really limited as to the type and the amount of data that you get in return. So what we're trying to do is saying, okay, we're going to meet the rest of the industry where they are and saying, okay, we're going to give you that same kind of information. But in addition to that, how can we help you provide more information about how it's actually driving value for your brand, how it's fueling your pipeline?
You're getting traction, $2.35 million in seed funding. How about from a customer standpoint? Individuals do podcasts, but I know increasingly companies and organizations are really in the podcast space.
Yeah, and that's why we exist. Again, that's my background was as a marketer on behalf of a large enterprise global business. And I quickly realized that, one, yes, we should absolutely be doing this. It gives our brand literally a voice, and we're able to create connections with people we couldn't before. But two, the type of tools and technologies that are out there weren't made for me or any other team that was putting together a podcast on behalf of their brand. And so, yeah, there's a huge void.
So we wrap up, where do you see growth opportunities with the popularity of podcasts? How do you see Casted fitting into that picture?
Well, I mean, there's a huge opportunity because there is such a void in the amount of technology that's out there right now, specifically for marketers that are doing branded podcasts. And Casted really is first to market, and I'm really excited to be right there for all the brands that are hopping on board.
Branded podcast, Casted has just launched here in Indianapolis with some ambitious growth plans. Lindsay Tjepkema, thanks very much for joining us. We look forward to following your story.
Thank you so much for having me.